my friends Bill Bossung and Fred Covely from Cloak Tech, as well as ShareRails, and we're going to get into that because I know I've been talking about two companies at the same time, but I think it's important that we spend some time doing that. By the way, they are publicly traded under the stock symbol GRCK. You can go to sharerails.com or greycloaktech.com. Our TV audience, have you shown both of them, guys? Yeah. I haven't been paying attention. I've been talking. So you can look at both of those websites. In fact, you know, I have something like 60,000 social media followers. I will tweet out both websites. You guys figure it out. Fight amongst yourselves. It says searchable shelves there, Fred. Searchable shelves powered by ShareRails. What does that mean? Break that one down for us, because I think you kind of scratched the surface before we went to a break.
Okay, so basically, I think what the trend that we're seeing in retail that we think is going to stick is the move away from commodity retail products, and you can see that in some of the sales figures for Christmas.
Okay. Describe a commodity retail product.
Athletic socks.
Okay, perfect.
And it's going to go towards, at the NRF show, there was a lot of data on this, but basically, the big retail show in New York, is that you're going to see a lot more customization in products and clothing.
So like the Nike ID, for example. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, or there's several companies presenting there, but a couple that I really like. There's one called Indochino that does custom-made man suits.
Okay.
So they're about the cost of a retail suit, but they're custom-made.
So and we interviewed from there last week. What was the name of that show that you were at when you were on the air with us last week?
National Retail Federation show. They call it, coincidentally, the big show.
Okay, so the National Retail Federation is where we get all of our numbers when we talk about retail. So we quote National Retail Federation almost every day. And what's interesting is on social media, you are seeing now custom shoes,
sure,
custom sunglasses, custom sport, and I'm just talking about the men's stuff because I don't care what the women's stuff is. But you're seeing, now is that a result of the trends? So they're spending their ad spend there because of the fact that people are starting to buy the custom stuff?
Sure.
Because it's not cost prohibitive anymore. That's the real key, right?
That's right. So if you really think about it, if you go back to commodity clothing, that was just a cost requirement in society.
Yeah.
But that's changing.
Yeah.
Because with the advent, also at that show, they had some good data on robotics and AI.
AI is artificial intelligence. We talked about that yesterday with the guys from Sway Ventures. So how does the AI come into it?
So the AI, there's a lot of pieces that involve AI and involve machine intelligence to manufacturing. So like a lot of, at that NRF show, they had, for example, booths where you walk into the booth and it mechanically measures you for your piece of clothing.
Wow.
And then creates.
So you stand there and it's like laser scans you, and then suddenly you walk out.
It's like the Jetsons.
You walk into the suit for you.
Yeah, you walk into the booth, they measure you, and then there was several other companies there with some advanced robotics on the manufacturing side, where they're trying to make the product right in front of you.
All right, so when we have you on next time with us, we have to delve into some of that, because obviously those are the retail trends we're seeing in January. I want to see how that's going to unfold at the end of the year. Bill,
sure. Bill's
the CFO of Cloak and ShareRails. I want to talk to you about this for a second, because when you talk about, as a publicly traded company, buying an asset, we went through the beginning of the interview and you talked about what you guys did is you looked at where's the smart money at this point. What does the structure look like for our audience who's never seen this before? Do you walk in there and write a check? Do you go in there and say, look, we're going to do a combination of cash and stock, and obviously all that stuff's confidential with what you do, but is every deal different, or is there a formula to this every time for these companies? Because let's face it, acquisition strategy is exactly how the balance sheets grow on companies like Google, Apple, Intel, and every one of the other ones that we talked about here on a daily basis. So talk about that a little bit.
Every deal is different.
Okay.
That's number one. One of the most important things to do if you're going to make an acquisition of a company is get a comprehensive valuation report from an independent party.
So how do you do that? Because ShareRails is privately held, right?
Correct.
So for you guys, it's easy. You take your outstanding shares times share price, you got your market cap, and obviously market cap and valuation. That's an argument for another show. But with a private company, how do you do that?
You hire an independent consulting firm that's highly rated. That report, we got that report, it took about 90 days to prepare it. It's 75 pages, it's expensive, but you need it. You hire an independent valuation company. We used Vistage up in Salt Lake City.
Sure.
They did a detailed evaluation. Yeah, exactly. Dale, he's great. We did a detailed evaluation. But the key is you need to get a very qualified firm, Sully, because that valuation has to stick up to a CPA audit.
Yeah, because of course, and here's the difference, and here's the lesson. And I want you on separately just to talk about that on another show. But this is what we're talking about here, because on a publicly traded company, these guys will tell you, it all comes down to disclosure. Everything.
Correct.
You have audited financials. You've got 10 Qs, a quarterly report. You have an annual report, and in any newsworthy or significant event, you have to file an 8K also. So we'll go through all those things. I don't want to confuse everybody. Guys, thank you so much for coming in. Thanks for being so generous with your time. Good news is they may be publicly traded and around the country and around the world, but this guy's in San Diego, and this guy's in San Diego a lot, so you're going to see a lot more of these guys. Fred, Bill, thanks so much. Gray Cloak Tech, stock symbol GRCK, and of course, you go to sharerails.com.